AITA for blocking a colleague from using the toilet. Story 1. New account, so not associated with my main. On mobile, so apologies for formatting. I work in a hospital in an administrative corridor. It's in the middle of nowhere in the hospital, as in not a lot of foot traffic from staff or patients. As a result, there is a single toilet on our corridor to cover our 5 offices. The door to the toilet is opposite my office door. We all go on break and lunch together 90% of the time, leaving the corridor empty for 30-50 mins. We started noticing every now and then that someone was using the toilet while we were out. In itself not a problem, but the smell and occasional mess wasn't always fully flushed or blocked was awful. There's no windows, so no way to dissipate the smell, and air freshener was irritating. Over the last few months it's been happening more and more regularly. It can be 3 times a week or twice in one day sometimes. We have no idea who is doing it, and there's no pattern to it. Also, no one really wants to confront the culprit if we did see them, so we were just living with it, gross as it is. 2 weeks ago, all but one of us went on break and a patient wandered into the corridor, was acting strangely and blocked the colleague in her office. She was pretty shaken up, but thankfully we do have panic buttons in our offices. Afterward, I submitted a request for a lock on the corridor. It's one of those key code ones and a bell. It's mildly annoying, but we get very little traffic outside mail and a few DRS, so it's not like we constantly have to let people in. It got installed on Wednesday last week, and Friday I got an email from one of the medical secretaries who works on a different floor asking for the code to our corridor. I responded, why would she need it? Immediately my phone rings. She explains she has bowel issues that she takes laxatives for, and the toilet on our corridor is one of the only single cubicle toilets in the hospital, and it has the most privacy, so she will be stuck without it. Where I might be the I told her I was sorry, but I didn't think we would be giving the code to any non-necessary staff, and hung up. The office is a bit mixed. Most are glad we won't have to deal with the stink she leaves behind, but one girl thinks we are being needlessly cruel, and it's not the reason we have the lock, so we shouldn't gatekeep a toilet, and one is flip-flopping. I do feel bad for her, but she was making our work environment seriously unpleasant on a regular basis. So, AITA, TLDR, I may be tough for refusing to give the code for our corridor door to a member of staff from a different department, meaning she can no longer use our toilet. Edit to add it is hospital policy that areas where patient data are held are necessary staff access only. So I do not have access to any of the wards, but I can access day surgery because it's relevant to my job. Her job in no way gives her any reason to be on our corridor, so from a data security POV, it doesn't matter that we are both employees. First comment. NTA. It's not your place to give the code out to employees who don't have business in your geographical area. The woman with the medical issues needs an accommodation, so she should address it with her supervisor. Your colleagues have no place to call you cruel because they didn't receive the call, so they won't be on the hook for giving out the security code inappropriately. Imagine if you did that, then something bad happened. This isn't about emotions, it's about safety and security in a hospital setting. Surely the hospital will treat that woman's needs with care. Second comment. NTA. I suspect that ladies has a case of don't sh where you eat. She is aware of the foul odor and mess that she is leaving behind and is outsourcing it to elsewhere so that her immediate colleagues don't connect her with toilet mess. I want my colleagues to like me, so you have to suffer in my stead. You are not Jesus, so you don't need to suffer for her. Third comment. NTA, I feel for her, but if she's not flushing and she's got enough control over her bowels to choose times when all are out, then I feel for her a lot less. If she has something like Crohn's, then she should get the hospital to give her access to a private bathroom as a disability accommodation, but that won't come from you, even if your toilet is chosen. For the colleague who wants to let her come, tell her you will if y'all swap offices so she has to be right across from the smell all day. Story 2. AITA household chores for stay-at-home parent. TLDR, my husband is supposed to take care of things at home while I work, but he doesn't. Yesterday, he yelled at our daughter for not telling him she needed her laundry done. He's not washed in 2 weeks. AITA? My husband is a stay-at-home dad to our one elementary-age child while I work full-time and am taking a college class online. When she was born, we agreed he could stay home until he was ready to return to work as long as he took care of the kid and household chores. At our last home, he was very engaged in the community, but I honestly don't know how he spends his days since we moved and school started. I'm sick of how poorly he keeps the house and have given up trying to communicate via the normal methods because it's always been met with resistance. And as much as I hate absolutes, I do mean always. Dirty dishes clutter the sink. We can't eat at the table because it's clutter with stuff. And before yesterday's incident, he hadn't done laundry in 2 weeks. I've suggested a weekly routine or chore chart to divide responsibilities at home, and he rejects these ideas as if I'm calling him incapable of doing it. I recently tried a written honey-do list as a last-ditch effort at communicating my household needs 3 things daily for 3 days. That was 3 weeks ago, and he's only done 6 of the items. I'm so tired of his excuses and his "I'll do it tomorrow" that I've given up. So I hired a cleaning service for dusting, sweeping, mopping, scrubbing the kitchen and bathrooms. I ordered a meal kit service because my body FT is alarmingly high from stress and him wanting to eat out 5 times a week, or just heating pre-made convenience foods at home instead of actually cooking and treating vegetables as an afterthought. Most recently, he's not done laundry in about 2 weeks. In the past, I asked if he wants help with laundry and he got upset that I don't trust him to get it done. The past several days, he's been bringing me 1 pair of clean undies each day, as I ask before my shower because I don't have any clean ones. I won't ask him outright to do the laundry, because past experience tells me he'll get offended and claim you don't trust me or you don't think I can do it. Yesterday, he loudly blamed our daughter when she said she didn't have any clean shorts to wear. "You should have told me you needed your clothes washed." We previously told her she just needed to put her dirty clothes in the hamper, which she had done. After she went to bed, I asked my husband if something had changed, and he said he told her she needed to speak up when she needs her laundry washed. He seemed offended that I would even ask. Is there some way I can help him see that I've lost all respect for him because of his temper, and how easily he gets offended because of his inaction? AITA? First comment. TA. But I do have some questions. How long has he been a SOC? Did he just started recently? Was there ever a period of time where he was doing okay and was on top of all household chores, as well as all the kid responsibilities? I think you need to have a serious conversation with him. I mean, as the SAD, he really needs to pull his own weight and at the very least, be on top of all the chores and kid stuff 80% of the time. Otherwise, everything will get messier and messier. It's obvious he's struggling with that, but the question here is why. You also need to talk to him about his attitude with your daughter, because him blaming a literal child for his failure to do laundry is not it. And you need to do it ASAP because your daughter shouldn't have to be subjected to such hostility just because her there is having a bad day. Second comment. What does he do in the hours that your child is at school and you are at work? This is like a minimum of 7 hours per day, 5 days a week. I would be looking into that. I'm sorry, but no cooking, no cleaning, no laundry, and no job. No thanks. You need to be upfront. This behavior is not acceptable. You shouldn't be paying for meal service and a cleaning lady while you have one stay-at-home parent of one school-age child. I was a stay-at-home mom for 6 years with 3 kids. I definitely had my days that I didn't get it all done, or we had takeout, but more than 1 or 2 days a week is not acceptable. This is essentially his job for the household and he's not meeting the needs. Third comment. NTA. However, it seems that he is suffering from depression or other psychological issues. Maybe the move to a new place has affected him mentally, since he was more active in your previous community and had an identity of his own. You really need to sit him down and talk to him about this, minus the yelling, anger, or frustrations. Given his current situation, you can hire a cleaning company to get the basics done if finances aren't a constraint. Story 3. AITA 23F for asking my partner 27M to tell his friends to leave house party? Not the a-hole. I'll try and be concise. The party was originally planned as a housewarming, but my friends couldn't make it, so it was just my partner's friends who were coming. Guests here from 6 p.m. I provided all of the food, Dr. NK, and worked hard on making the lounge a comfortable environment and sourcing plenty seats. For context, I work night shifts, and in the last 48 HRs I have worked a night shift and had one nap between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. on the day of the party. Bearing in mind, I went straight from my night shift to the store to buy all of the supplies. Fast forward, it's now 1 a.m. and I figured it's been a fair while. Everyone had a blast. I think it's time to call it a night. Asked my partner in private, who responded with, "I can't kick them out. Do you know how bad that would be for me?" Now, I support him and I know how it feels to be insecure around your friends if you don't see them often, especially as adults, so I let slide and wait. It's now 2:30 a.m. and my partner has ordered more food, which means they will be staying for even longer. I am at the end of my tether now, running on 2 hours SLEP. Having put in all the effort, and just to add insult to injury, none of the guests thanked me, greeted me, or appreciated the work I put in. I then learned that they had been taking coke in my bathroom, and I'm now so upset. My partner sees no problem and is getting upset with me now. Am I the asshole? Update. Thanks everyone for helping me see sense. It was happening live, so I couldn't reply to everyone, but I had gone through to bed around 11 p.m. But with the way our home is laid out, there's not a lot of soundproofing from the main area to the bedroom. I'm not precious. I am quite capable of SLEPing if there isn't mountains of noise at 3:45 a.m. I flipped and went through and kicked them out. Not very gracious, but I think I'm allowed a crazy moment given I had no cell EP. Partner said that I embarrassed him and interrupted their fun game. Partner will be moving out in the coming weeks. Thanks everyone. First comment. Babe, go to bed. Why are you staying up with them? Your man can handle it. Deal with the rest after you've slept. Not sure I'd stay with a guy like this. Second comment. NTA at all. At this point I would just tell everyone good night and go to bed. Maybe lock the bedroom door while I'm at it, so can SLEP on the couch after that. LOLL.